if it's not bought, if it's not taken, if it's not accepted, if it's not voted in, if the person and what the person represents is not enthroned, that there will be retribution. So there's the fear thing, the greed thing. First of all, the greed of, oh my God, I'm going to do so great, and it's ignorance. It's like it's laziness. Which is fear, because people don't want to take a position. They just want to buy whatever seems to be they're afraid of doing. It's popular opinion. They're afraid not to be doing what seems they ought to be doing, and they're afraid of not being overseen, not doing. They must, of course, want them. Everybody else is. Everybody else is doing it thing. And that is one of the killers of all time of truth and reform. And people die for such a baseless motive. But that's herd instinct. So it's just going along with the herd, going along, getting along. That's another thing, and that is very rampant. People follow that. It's this certain decorum around things. When you lose, you have to be graceful in defeat, or else you look like a sore loser. There's all these some supposed rules about how people will render themselves inconsequential as a duty, because they're not allowed to do any more than that. Indeed, they never really had a chance at all to be truly considered, but we pretend to give it to them, and so we expect them to be grateful for the 15 minutes of pretense and pretend consideration. And those that don't buy it are looked at as greedy themselves. What are they after? What do they want? Why won't they accept that polite, sweet, we wish you well in the future shit? What are they after? Are they crazy? Are they psychopathic? Are they sociopathic? Do they want to hurt people? Do they want to not be graceful towards those who are elected with the so-called popular will? Even if it's fear-based popular will, it's the popular will of the people, so we have to accept it. We cannot look at, for example, the fact that it might have been controlled or contrived because people chose not to look at it. They didn't want to look too far. They wanted to just believe on the face of it, and therefore whatever the people wanted, the people ought to have. And that's I think, a very strong motive for why people will refuse any further consideration of a candidate that has run and lost, especially lost badly. And then the other thing is, so you have people that buy it because of popular appeal, the popular opinion, fear of opposing somebody who may say that, she could have done so much if only people had not done that. And then the guilt factor. We didn't vote for who we should have voted for. We didn't do as the authority issues directed us. So there's the mommy-daddy thing. Mommy told us, and she's totally been, coming off as she's a mommy, which is kind of funny because she doesn't have any kids of her own. Anyway, that's never mind that. It's an instinct in people, and they respond to it at a certain point. She's very strong on that. She's very strong on letting people know what she expects of them. And, I can't condemn that altogether because I certainly have enough of it myself. But it's what it comes from. Why does she want to tell people what to do? What is it she knows best? That her top issue is going to take care of seniors? No. Her top issue when she says that is that she's not going to take care of anybody else. And seniors will come last also, but they don't know it. They just don't know it yet. She doesn't come across with any program for how she's going to do anything. And yet, she had the legitimate last say, the so-called legitimate last say in the papers, that I had no substantive issues, that I was just being divisive. The paper refused to print anything at the Portland Press Herald. The Kennebunk Post was 3-1 against me, and the Biddeford Journal, Courier, the Biddeford Courier, the Journal Tribune lost a letter
and then it was just too late to put it in. The Post wasn't going to allow me any more words, even though my word count was way below hers, and even if, my 2 paragraphs, one on banking, one on resource protection against Nestle, were put in, they weren't going to be allowed, even though the word count of those would still have been under her word count on her thing, because I was amending my thing, so therefore we can't amend it, because we didn't have to offer that to both candidates. Well, we didn't need to, because her word count was already maxed out, and she didn't choose to change it. You see, it's all about a contrived, specious reason to not allow me anything more than what I was given, which was the modicum minimal allowance against the establishment picked candidate.